it's a given Lamar Jackson's going to be back with the Ravens. We've been talking about this. We've been writing about it. Just because John Harbaugh was fired, it's not like Dan Reeves versus John Elway back in the early 90s when Pat Bowlen picked quarterback over coach. I think there's still a chance that Lamar Jackson decides it's time for a fresh start for him too. And he's got a ton of power in this situation. He's got 2 years left under contract. There's a no tag clause in his deal. So he walks away 2 years from now as a free agent if he wants to. They want to get him signed to an extension. All he has to say is, I'll take my $104 million over the next 2 years and I'll go wherever I want. And there's a thought that he'd like to get back to Miami, and that would be a perfect time 2 years from now, because that's when the $99 million in dead money charge for Tua Tagovailoa disappears from their books. But I think we just need to see what is his thought about the Ravens not hiring an offensive specialist, maybe a former head coach who was available like a Mike McDaniel, and instead going with a first-time head coach, defensive specialist who Jackson knows because he was in Baltimore for 3 years, the first 3 years of Jackson's career. But because Jackson doesn't talk to anybody, he doesn't have an agent to talk to the media and say what he's thinking. We don't know what he's thinking. So I don't know that the offensive coordinator hire is going to be a big factor. I think the threshold question is, what does he think about Jesse Minter? If he likes it, it should be fine. If he doesn't, it may not be fine.
All right, Mike Florio from NBC Sports says that Lamar Jackson may be leaving the Baltimore Ravens. So they might have just clean house in him and Harbaugh. He knows the fact that Lamar has 2 years left on this deal with, I guess, guaranteed money, mostly guaranteed money, and he has a no franchise tag. So he has leverage. Now, the belief is, and people have been reading and been hearing, that Lamar Jackson would like to go to Miami, okay? Get back home. Let's talk about it. Check out the NFL playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Jesse Minter was a guy that was with Harbaugh. He was at Baltimore at one point, with Jim, with John. I believe he was with Jim in Michigan. And maybe them not getting an offensive head coach may bother Lamar. Now, I felt like maybe he already liked Jesse Minter. The belief is that, oh, he's a defensive coach. He don't know nothing about offense. Most coaches be learning both sides of the ball. You know, you hear, an offensive coordinator, one day he might be a DB coach, or, to be honest, you got to know how offenses work. You got to know how defenses work. So a lot of coaches have been working on both sides of the ball. Honestly, maybe they should just want to wipe their hands clean, Lamar and John, and move on. And if that's the case, and he want to go to Miami, my thing is this: I don't think that's the best opportunity for a young man. And Lamar don't get in trouble. He seemed like a good dude, but I always hate for young men to go back home. I just never really like it. I never really trust it for them to go back home and plant their roots. And that's just my opinion on it. I don't really like it. I remember Chris Webber, talked about playing in Detroit when he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And I think he ended up saying that was the best thing that never happened to him. I don't like young people going back home to play. It's a lot of distractions. It's a lot of haters there. We know most, rappers get, harmed or deleted in their own home city. And they be asking why they're Al Sharpton don't live in the hood, or why this guy don't live in the hood. We know it's a rhetorical question, right? So I don't think playing in Miami, number one, I don't think that's a good deal. Two, there's the Miami new coach, like him in Green Bay. But also just in a vacuum, talking about developing him an offensive coordinator. You sit down, like, what do you want out of a quarterback? Do you want me to teach you how to have longevity and play from the pocket? Something that Mike Vick ended up learning, Randall Cunningham ended up learning how to really play from the pocket and really go through these progressions and really get you with timing and rhythm and accuracy and doing things that you may not be comfortable with that can add 5-10 years on your career. So we don't put as much stress on those legs and stress on that body by running the football. Or do you want to continue to do what you already doing? And if the case is he want to continue doing what he already doing, and there's rumors that he had bad attitude, he shut down, you can tell he doesn't really have the leadership thing down pat. Somebody dropped the ball, look at his face, his body language. I remember Ben Johnson talking about that when he got to Chicago. That's one of the things he wanted to change with Caleb Williams is his demeanor and his reaction to bad plays. No, you got to hold your head high. You got to master stoicism and not make your tight end, if he dropped the ball for the game winner, not make him feel bad. Not, you see them do, like, no, maybe, just cool. We get them next time or next time. Yeah, I think that's something that's got to come with maturity. But I never like a young man going back home. I don't ever like it. Maybe when they older and more mature, I really don't care for it. You made a good point. After 2 years, it is up on his contract. The $90 million in dead money Miami has for Tua will be up, and maybe they can transition. The thing about it is this. One, do that new defensive coordinator that's the hit from Green Bay, that's the head coach in Miami, does he like Lamar? Okay. Two, can you wait 2 years to get a quarterback? Because guess what? After 2 years, if he trash, they're going to get fired. So I don't think Miami trying to wait 2 years to keep it a beam, right? So, I mean, obviously, you look at other places that he can land. Obviously, I don't think Stefanski in Atlanta will be a huge fan of his. You go up to Minnesota, maybe, you go right to Minnesota, right on that team, right transition there. You, Justin Jefferson, it instantly upgrades the team. You talk to New York Jets. He already played somewhere cold. You go to the Jets. Can you revive that organization? You go down to maybe Houston, ready to cut ties with C.J. Stroud. Don't want to pay him a rookie deal. Maybe you're ready to get rid of him. New Orleans need a quarterback. I know they got Tyler Salt, but maybe they're willing to move on. Carolina, maybe they ready to move on from Bryce. It was somebody else I was thinking of. I don't think he would go to Cleveland. Pittsburgh, I don't think they would trade him to Pittsburgh. Indianapolis, I don't know if that's a good fit for, culture-wise, but Indianapolis, who else you got? The Raiders, talking about Vegas, but Vegas and Jets is just bad juju right now amongst those teams to keep it a being with you. Bad juju, honestly. But if you just look at the NFC, I would say Carolina, the Giants. I don't know, him and John Harbaugh gonna mix though, so take that back. Arizona. It was another team I was thinking. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. So, honestly, probably him in Carolina. I don't like him going back home. Him in Carolina. Him in Houston. If I'm Houston, I'll probably make a deal. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the NFL playlist, follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support, but enjoying the Patreon. But the real question he got to ask himself, is he ready to really, be a better leadership and really be a pocket quarterback to put longevity on his career?